Good morning, everybody. My name is Lieutenant Adam Reed with the Pennsylvania State Police, and we are here today alongside the Pennsylvania Capitol Police to announce and discuss our donation of equipment that will be sent to Ukraine. Speaking first is our Commissioner, Colonel Robert Ivanchik, followed by Pennsylvania Capitol Police Superintendent Jacob, and third, Governor Wolf will be speaking. We'll then take some questions and have a media availability to take a look at some of the equipment being donated. Colonel Ivanchik.
Good morning. I'm Colonel Robert Ivanchik, the Commissioner of the Pennsylvania State Police. I'd like to welcome Governor Tom Wolf and Superintendent Joseph Jacob of the Capitol Police to Department Headquarters this morning. We're here to announce that we are working with our federal partners to obtain regulatory approval to ship equipment to war-torn Ukraine. The Pennsylvania State Police and the Pennsylvania Capitol Police are sending used body armor that will potentially save the lives of humanitarian workers or Ukrainian police officers. PSP recently issued new body armor to some of our members, and these sets were slated to be destroyed. They were deemed surplus and scheduled to be destroyed shortly. However, it heartens me to know that the equipment will now be put to good use. The equipment is scheduled to be received by the Vermont State Police. Actually, it may have arrived there this morning. They will then ensure it is transferred to the Vermont Army National Guard. It will then be shipped to the California Army National Guard, who will coordinate the shipment to Ukraine pending the regulatory approval. With that, I'll now turn it over to Superintendent Jacob to discuss his agency's information. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel. My name is Joe Jacob. I am the superintendent for the Pennsylvania Capitol Police. I'm pleased to stand here today to represent our department at this press conference. Every day, the men and women of the Pennsylvania Capitol Police take pride in carrying out their duties to ensure safety of our citizens and protect their way of life. We are honored to partner with the Pennsylvania State Police and the administration to be part of the efforts to help the citizens of Ukraine do the same thing through the donation of protective equipment. Our agency has donated 24 ballistic vests and 15 ballistics helmets that we no longer are able to use, but these items could make a big difference in keeping people safe in Ukraine. That especially applies to the humanitarian workers and rescue workers who put themselves in danger while trying to get civilians out of danger. While we are working with our federal partners to obtain regulatory approval to ship the equipment to Ukraine, we'd like to thank again our partners at PSP for working with us to make this happen and for transporting the items of both agencies to the Vermont National Guard. We hope that our small effort here will help save the lives in Ukraine. Also, in closing, on behalf of the Capitol Police, we'd also like to offer our condolences to the Pennsylvania State Police and their tragic loss of 2 troopers on Monday morning. It was a tragic event, and our prayers are for them and the troopers' families. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent Jacob. Thank you, Colonel Ivanchik. This is really a really nice thing that the State Police and the Capitol Police are doing. This is surplus equipment that would be thrown away otherwise, and pending the approval of the federal government, will hopefully go on to the folks in Ukraine who need it to make sure that they're safe as they can possibly be, given what they're going under. So this is part of what Pennsylvania is doing to support the courageous people in Ukraine. And our support is, I think, warranted. I mean, we admire the courage of the Ukrainians, but we also have some personal stake in what's going on there. Pennsylvania has the second highest number of Ukrainian descendants in the United States, of any state in the United States. And so I think it's fitting that Pennsylvania does this kind of thing. As you all know, the consul of Ukraine was in Harrisburg a few weeks ago, and she asked if we had equipment like this, things like this that we could do. And I, again, appreciate what the state police and the Capitol Police are doing to make sure that their surplus becomes something that could actually protect lives in Ukraine. Again, as you know, in addition to this, Pennsylvania is doing other things to try to help. The Liquor Control Board has agreed to take every Russian product off the shelves of the state stores. PSERS and SERS, our retirement systems, have agreed, their boards have agreed, and they are in the process of divesting of any Russian securities. The state treasurer, Stacey Garrity, is doing the same thing with state funds that she controls. I look forward to the General Assembly in a bipartisan way appropriating $2 million to help with the resettlement, should it be necessary, of Ukrainians who need to be resettled in places like Pennsylvania. And I'm in fully support of a clean bill that I think Representative Benninghoff is promoting to add Russia to the list that would, by legislation, keep Pennsylvania from investing in Russian securities. So again, I applaud the state police and the Capitol Police for making this equipment available to the people of Ukraine. And I want to add to what Superintendent Jacob said, that the state police all of us in Pennsylvania have gone through a sad day on Monday when 2 state police officers were killed on I-95 early in the morning. It was a reminder how fragile and precious life is, but it's also a reminder of how each and every day everybody, the state police and the Capitol Police, put their lives on the line to keep us all safe. So now I'll be happy to take questions. Dennis.
Governor, what do you know about Ukrainians that are coming here? Are you getting any updates on how many refugees or folks who have left there are coming into our state?
I don't have any information on that yet. I'm assuming, and the reason for the $2 million request is I'm assuming that we will get requests. I'm not aware of any at this point.
Would it come through you? Would you get a heads up when people are coming in to our state?
I should. Now, it doesn't always happen that way, but I would think, especially if you know, have the appropriations, that people would give me a heads up.
And one other question for one of the law enforcement folks. What is the normal process? Is there an expiration date on these?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Can you talk about that?
There is an expiration date on those items. However, they are still serviceable, so as to speak. You know, they usually put an expiration date on those to ensure that, you know, we recycle them and get new ones in there. But you know, I guess a lot of factors would play into it. You know, if they're exposed to heat or water or moisture, those types of things. But from what we see, they're still serviceable. Yes.
And so, from your standpoint, if somebody's over there getting shot at, they can still work. I mean, just because the date is such doesn't mean they don't work.
Yes. So over the years, we've had law enforcement officers actually, or research and development people actually take expired ones and put rounds to them, and they are still workable at that point.
You might talk about, you actually look through something and pulled something out.
Yeah, we had about 85 vests that we looked through before we shipped our 67 that we're actually shipping, and some of them had some torn straps or different things that we decided we're not going to send those materials.
And what was the total number with both Capitol Police and you guys?
We're sending 67 and
24 to 50 ballistic helmets.
And then can you just talk to me about the circuitous path we're going from here to Vermont to California to Ukraine?
Sure. I can. That's a good question, and I asked the same question on the product too. Apparently, this metal does not have metal fatigue, things like that. It's things like straps and other things. Anyway, it's going to Vermont and California because Vermont and I guess California have a special relationship through their National Guard with Ukraine. Pennsylvania has a relationship, our National Guard, with Lithuania. So it makes sense for this to go through Vermont and California because they have the relationship and that they have the supply chain in place.
So this would be going to the Ukrainian army?
No. This, as the Commissioner said, this will go to basically EMS folks, police, fire, people who find themselves in the line of fire and would otherwise be without protection.
How long does a process like this take for it to be approved and eventually get into Ukraine here?
Since this is the first time we've ever done this, I don't really have an answer to that. Anybody know how long this is going to take? We don't know. I mean, I think we expect that it'll go as quickly as within a few days or so. But we're going through all the procedures.
Is this
And when you
typical?
had the people from the consulate a couple of weeks ago, you said you're willing to do whatever.
Yeah.
Sounds good. What kind of red tape do we have to clear to get to this point?
Not much. I mean, I think technically you have to be careful, and I think you asked the question at that press conference. You have to be careful about weapons, and so what is considered arms, what is considered non-armaments, and so you just have to make sure that you steer clear of a state does not have the right to send arms to a sovereign nation, but we can send food and help. So we're looking. The other things that they asked for at that. With the consulate was food, and so the Department of Agriculture and the Department of Community and Economic Development are working on that. They also asked about masks, things that we are stockpiling as a result of the pandemic, and we now have a warehouse. So we're looking at some things there that maybe we can do. So this is an ongoing thing, and we continue to do what we can to respond to what they're asking. Sorry.
Well, that's fine. But where do funds typically come from for tactical gear? Is that taxpayer dollars?
Yes. This is, and again, if we didn't do this is surplus material. This is part of the Capitol Police, the state police budget, and they have the new equipment. This would normally be thrown away.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.